Ladies and gentlemen, my name is IndustrialFaith. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Factorio Forex, your 15-minute Factorio fix. This is Season 3, Episode 3. We are putting together the green science, which means we have just built the inserter assembly, not the assemblers. It is an inserter assembly. And now I've got the belts, and now I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to make... Actually, no, I'm completely wrong. We just finished the belt assembly, which you need for, the stuff. So here, I'm making the assemblers, inserters, because you need green circuits and iron and gears, and that's it. So these guys are good to go. They can only be made in a blue inserter, or a blue assembler, however, which is hilarious to me. Is it funny to you? It's funny to me. So here we are. We're getting everything running. It's all churning away. Chunkada, chunkada, chunkada. So now these, I built them in kind of a funny way. They look a little funny, like, wow, there's a lot of wasted space. Well, I've done that because I want to actually be able to expand these if I have to. Also, the way it's built, there's a lot of buffer built in just off the belts. And I'll be expanding the green one. Again, because I don't know the... How do I put it? I don't know the... gosh, what's the word I'm supposed to use? The ratio. But the good thing is I can actually start building my labs now. Once I get science running here, I can start building my labs. And I forget that I need... no, I don't need red inserters. I just need yellow ones. So I'm checking my power. I didn't hook up that other battery, so to speak, of steam engines because I didn't need them. No, I don't need reds with these. What am I thinking? Wow. So everybody's good to go. We're making green science. Green science is happening. And now I have to use landfill to make room for the labs. So, and I'm doing that while I'm building the labs. If you notice, off to the left, I am crafting the research labs in my pocket. And honestly, I think that's the best way to do it, because there's no need to build an assembler for that junk. You're going to build 20. I'll never have to build any more again. That's just it. Now, I'm not going to build 2 rows of 10. I'm actually going to build 4 rows of 5. And that's because it's compact, and it actually ends up being just about perfect, except that I misspace all the labs because I'm a derp. Yes, I admit it, I'm a bit derpy at times. But this will enable me to get green and red science rolling, which is kind of what I want. I've got a whole backlog of science, or of iron. And it's actually going to take some time before I start having iron throughput issues. And here I'm just trying to, I need the brick for the path, so I'm kind of building it up that way. So at some point I'm going to realize I misspaced everything, and is it right here I figured out? Tell me I figured out here. No, I haven't figured it out yet. There we go. Got it. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is going to make for some great viewing. He's so dumb. Look at him go. Yeah, I know. But again, because science is... I decided to put a gap between the two of them because I kind of want... Well, I want a gap between them. I want to be able to kind of move between them if I have to. Who knows why? Maybe there's an emergency, and that's the Jeffries tube. I don't know. And kudos to you if you get if you know what a Jeffries tube is. If not, don't worry about it. You know, that's something from my age of entertainment. So you kids these days have your own. But there we go. We have green and red science. I'm going to build another one because I don't know. So there we go. We have power. Now this thing is just going to run like... This thing runs like gangbusters. I am not kidding you. I'm so amazed at how fast it does some research. So we'll hit T. We'll go lab efficiency, which... Okay, that's an expensive one, so I went for the lab efficiencies first, because if you have a setup like this, you can afford to do it. And really the whole point of doing 20 labs is I want to be able to do science as soon as possible. Now I do have, it feels to me like I have throughput issues, but once I swap over to blue laboratories or blue assemblers, everything seems to run really well. Because blue assemblers are faster than gray assemblers. They are not, however, as fast as the yellow assemblers. And eventually I will upgrade well, I don't think you need to upgrade to yellow assemblers for your science. Certain things you probably want to. Certainly when I get around to making yellow assemblers is a bit problematic because you have to make blue assemblers, and then you take the blue assemblers and you use speed modules. And speed modules are expensive. Any of the modules to any of the booster modules, I guess we can call them, are somewhat expensive to make because it takes, I believe, it's 5 red circuits and 5 green circuits per level 1 module. Yes, it's the blue circuits that are expensive. I'm not looking forward to building blue circuits, and I don't think I'm going to build blue circuits until I start getting alien science and I start getting... I'm going to need more throughput is what's going to happen, so that's... I mean, just stuff is cranking away with 20 labs. I'm almost giggling at times watching the science just go crazy. It's neat. I don't know if I'll ever... I can certainly see using 5 labs, or 10 labs. I can certainly see that, but 20 labs is just... it's hilarious. But then again, with the end game being what it is, there's no reason to build like 100 labs. There's no reason. Other than the fact that you'll do research in just ridiculous amounts of time. But I don't even want to think about how much resources you're going to burn supporting 100 labs. I mean, 20 pretty much taps all my resources on this island. And as of the last episode, hour 7, spoiler alert, I start using red belts because I don't have enough throughput from the smelters. I just can't get the compression I need. So it's kind of, and I'm using it on regular iron, not even the steel. I'm making tons and tons and tons of steel. I don't have any issues with it yet, and I don't think I will. I think I've found a good balance for steel. Because so far as I'm not really building anything with steel. There will be stuff. I'm sure there will be things I have to build later with steel, but. At the point where I get blue science rocking and rolling, I don't need it. So I think this is where I expand my green circuits. Yes, I'm expanding my green circuits, and even as it stands at hour 7, I'm going to be looking at expanding it even further. But the problem with that is I have an iron shortfall. I think it hits at like hour 6. Or 6.5, and I start having all kinds of issues. So, but it's fun issues. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This is fun issues. This is darned entertaining stuff. Of all the issues to have. So we're gonna throw in some iron. Isn't it ironotic? No, don't even do that. No, that's just... I'm sorry. I take that back. That was foolish and terrible. It was a foolish and terrible pun. Oof. So, let's see. Next after this. So, here's copper. Okay, so we're good there. Now, the obvious upgrade to this is to make everything blue. The thing is, you can get away with yellow inserters off the copper line as long as you're, well, the inserters that move the copper to the, basically, as long as the yellow inserters that move the copper to the copper wire inserters are yellow. Even if they're blue, you'll hold up fine as long as everything else in the system is blue inserters. There's an Elvis song in there somewhere. Anyways. So again, I have too much wood. But has that ever been a problem? Now listen, you. So I've still got those copper things here. So I'm actually going to create a buffer for the steel bricks. The stone bricks. And this thing is, that thing at hour 7 is still going strong. I'm still using that to make bricks at hour 7. Again, there's not a whole lot that uses stone bricks. From what I've seen, it's very, very specialized. I'm going to be building another copper smelting area right next to this one, because I am worried about copper throughput. Although at this juncture, I don't think I have to be, but I am. But I do know my iron throughput's a little thin right now. I'm not producing enough iron ore. Look at that cute little onesie iron spot there. So for the life of me, I'd have no idea why I didn't just move the power pole to the right one. It'd have been fine, but I don't. So whatever, yo. All right. There we go, concrete. 250, and I don't do it. Look at how fast that moves. Just bam, that's so quick. Even on 4 times speed, that is really, really quick. I'm quite in love with 20 science labs. It is nice. The fun thing, though, is it really makes it so that you get your factory to support 20 iron labs. 20 iron labs? 20 science labs, such as I have now. And then anything after that, you're going to be struggling. So it's really kind of interesting that I just find it interesting. So here I'm going to build more power and more power and more power. And unfortunately, there's not a better way to do it. I wish there were upgraded power plants. That'd be fantastic. Upgraded steam engines, high-performance steam engines or something. I don't know. If there was a way to use sand in this game... oh gosh, what are ceramics made out of? Is clay or something? I think ceramics are clay. But if there's for example, you could make glass. If the sand was an option, you could make glass. You could use glass to make. You could make cables that run along the ground. You could make fiber optic cables. Would it be neat to bury those in the ground and then instead of having overhead lines, and that way you could run cables underneath equipment, and then you could have like a substation would be the way of getting. You could have substations produce power blooms and so forth. It's yeah. There's a lot of things. And if there's clay, then you can use ceramics, and then you could use because like they have the steel furnaces, which are all very valid. And maybe you could use the stone as sort of a ceramic surrogate, and you could use, and maybe that's what the stone is in the steel furnace. It's a surrogate ceramic which helps heat the metal hotter. I'm just grasping at straws here, folks. I don't know. I have no idea. I am not an engineer of any type. I just played one when I was in the Navy. So here I'm making sure I don't run out of coal. Now I'm going to run out of coal at some point, but again, because I'm not utilizing defenses or anything like this, it's not going to be that big a deal. Oh, I'm building steel. Gotcha. So I'm looking right there. I'm going to build steel. I'm going to build my steel smelters. I'm going to use that other iron deposit just for steel. That way I'm not tapping into my other thing. Look how fast flammables goes. Gosh. 20 labs is so good. Plus, it also, that assembly there also gives me a place to grab belt and yellow inserters. And I'm still on yellow inserters. You don't have to use blue inserters for smelting until you use electric furnaces. And then you need the blue because the product comes out so quickly. It's kind of nice. So, all All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap this up. Thanks for joining me for the latest episode of Factorio 4X, your 15-minute factorial fix. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. You have a good night, and bye-bye.